Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Witness That. If this is your first time joining, today's episode is going to be a little bit different than usual. We're still going to feature athletes. However, I decided since today, technically, right now I'm filming this on February 28th, is the last day of Black History Month, we're going to feature some athletes of color. Alright, so I'm kind of excited about this, and I do think it's important that this episode be made, not because I just want to big up all my brothers and sisters, but really I don't think a lot of people ever considered what it might be like to be a person of color doing, I guess, a less traditional sport. And this is something I've dealt with in my own life. Before parkour, I did skateboarding. I was a skater, and growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood, that just wasn't a cool, acceptable thing when I was younger. In fact, I actually got into a lot of fights for it. I got jumped a couple of times. It was actually like a big thing. For me to choose skateboarding was almost like, I guess people in my community felt like I was choosing white culture over my own culture, which was just crazy. So it wasn't even like white people were telling me not to skateboard, it was my own people, which blew my mind. And I think it's important that I spend a couple of minutes talking about this. I promise I'm going to get to the videos, but I do just want to spend a couple of minutes talking about this. If you want to go ahead and skip to the videos, by all means, I'm going to put a little link in the bottom so you could just skip ahead to the videos. But if you're here to listen, this is kind of cool. So, like I said, growing up, I was a skater. Started skateboarding in about 5th grade. So I was maybe, 10 years old. Younger than that, maybe 9. And I remembered one day I was riding my skateboard through the neighborhood, and some kids just stopped me and they're just like yelling like, "Yo, what are you doing? Black people don't do that. Like, that's some white people stuff. Black people don't do this, that, and the third." And they're just making this whole big scene about it. And my buddy was with me, and he used to skateboard as well, another kid from the neighborhood. And they actually took his board and started trying to fight him on the spot, and I was able to kind of break that whole situation up. And we left there. He stopped skateboarding because he lived deeper in the neighborhood. I was a little bit more on the edge, so I didn't really have to see people. I could skate on my block and didn't really have to deal with anybody. Whereas if he went outside to skateboard, everybody else in the neighborhood lived around him. So yeah, he had to stop skating just for his own safety. I had to take the back streets home to go home from school with my skateboard. It was stupid. I had to actually walk down the train tracks just so I could avoid getting into fights, because I didn't like fighting. And the thing is, I would fight if I had to, but I never started the fights, and I didn't actually like to fight. So it's interesting that my own people didn't want me to do this thing. And it's kind of sad because it was a mentality, it was a mindset. Because later on, it changed. It was okay for black kids to skateboard when Lil Wayne started skateboarding. A couple of years later, like when I got to high school, Lil Wayne was into skateboarding, so the black community found it okay to skateboard. The same kids that had ridiculed me and picked on me and tried to fight me were now asking me for advice. So if you're a person of color and you're doing a sport that isn't traditionally, you don't see other people like us doing it, keep on doing it, man. Like, show others it's okay to do it. You know, if you're a rock climber, keep getting out there and climbing. If you're doing parkour, keep going out there. If you're snowboarding, that's another thing. Every time I'm on a snowboard mountain, who's the only guy with dreads? You know, it's basically me. Maybe I see a couple of other people, and I know black people do this, but it's still, I'm a minority when I go out to these sports. But when I'm at the basketball court, I see everybody. When I'm at the football field, I see everybody. So those sports, you know, are more traditionally done, but you guys could branch out, you could do more, feel free to do more. So these athletes I'm about to feature are sick. They are amazing. Like, dude, like, they throw down. And Whether you're black, white, Spanish, Chinese, I don't care. Like, you just need to watch these dudes throw down. Okay, so the first guy we have up is Joe Scanderit. And Joe is a freaking beast. He's an animal of a human being. He's built like a pit bull. He doesn't make sense to me. Like, dude, he does everything. He has flips. He has descents. He has technical movements. He can do lines. He's good on bars. He's a strong guy overall. And, you know, he just seems like an overall good time. I actually haven't been lucky enough to meet him yet. I'm sure I'm gonna get a chance. We're gonna bump into each other sooner or later one of these days, but man, like, you need to watch his videos. And the funny thing is, he doesn't really put a lot of videos together himself. He's more so on Instagram. A lot of these athletes are, so I'm gonna be tagging their Instagram accounts. But this video that I did find, it's a compilation of a lot of his clips. Yo, check it out. Next is JB Ninja Boy. Now, I have had an opportunity to meet JB a few times now, maybe about 2 or 3. We worked together at Woodward this past summer. I ran into him at Beast Coast maybe 3 years ago for the first time. And this is another kid that has skills. All right, JB is a very, very competent mover who thinks. Like, he really does use his brain and he thinks. Sometimes, like, if you watch someone's video and you get to know their personality or persona through their social media, you're just like, oh, he just hucks it. No. Like, JB works hard. He grinds. And it is starting to show. I mean, this kid has double fronts on lock to the point where he's just taking them outside. And it's controlled. It's not just him hucking his body. He knows where he is in the air. His flip game is on point, and he's not just a flipper either. He's a technical mover. Put him on bars, and he is running, swinging. He does whatever. He's comfortable. All right, this is next level. Check him out. Yo, third is my boy Deshay, dude. Deshay is the co-founder of Sessions. And Deshay is just a phenomenal human being. Like, I think I have a man crush. I don't think. Deshay, if you're watching this, I have a man crush on you, bro. Like, you're awesome, you're cool. Like, everything you do is pretty much cool, all right? Just recently, Deshay got picked up by Normal Brand, so he's been repping the clothes. Their clothes are super swaggy. He's super swaggy, so it's a beautiful mix. And then just watching him move, man, like, dude, everything he does looks cool. And speaking of everything being done looking cool, that makes me think of the next athlete I'm gonna feature, who I featured before, but come on, I can't not feature him on a Black History Month video. You know who it is. Go ahead, say the name. Wavezilla. Yeah, boy, Daryl Stingley. So Daryl is another athlete that just takes the game to a whole other level. Like, dude, straight up superhero status. Like, he is the black superhero that kids should be looking up to. Wavezilla, like, that's who you want to be like, oh shit, that Wavezilla on my roof. Like, that's what I feel like when I say his name out loud. Like, he's just gonna appear on the roof. His moves, it all speaks for itself. In fact, I'm not even gonna ruin his videos by trying to tell you anything about it. I feature them basically every time they come out. He's like Nate Weston, like, he's the black Nate Weston to me. When he drops a video, I'm going to feature it because it is just that good. And he really does help move our entire culture, our entire sport in the right direction. So yeah, super swagful. Next, this guy isn't necessarily black, but he is a man of color, and that is Luis from Etre Fort. And Luis, he's one of those guys that I just love watching move because his lines are just so flowy. Like, he just moves through space like nobody's business. I think it just comes from hanging out with Foski and training with the Etre Fort guys. That's their style of just being able to get through the city as fast as possible. And of course, you know, they've got those big reverse vaults. And yeah, Luis is another guy that, honestly, like, when I think about him, if I had to think about who his counterpart was, I would say Alex Shower. And not that they look anything alike, but it's their movement is on that same level of cleanliness, and just the technique is there. So, Luis, thank you for being such an animal. You and I have definitely never met. You're Portuguese. I don't even know if you speak English. You probably speak English. I think I've seen you speaking English in a couple of your videos. So if you're listening to this, dude, thank you, because your videos have definitely inspired me as I was coming up. So I am still going to feature an archive video this week. And sorry for being so informal, man. Like, I just got out of work, guys. So I'm really trying my best to make this video for you. This archive video is going to go to none other than Blue Freerun. You guys already know Storm Freerun was one of the first parkour channels I came across, the first parkour team. And Blue was just like the guy I saw myself as, which is important. And I'm pretty sure you could all relate to this. When you start to see something that you want to be like, you see yourself in that thing. You know, we all got into parkour because we saw it looked really cool, and then for whatever reason we saw ourselves as that athlete. Maybe we were watching Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Jump London, like something. We saw it and we saw a bit of ourselves there. For me, Blue was really like the first person I saw that made me see myself. And yes, it was because he was black. It sounds stupid, but you know, like when you're watching other people do it, it's like a woman watching male sports and it's hard for her to relate, but then a female athlete comes and she can resonate. Like, oh wow, she's doing it too. I can do it. When I saw Blue, I said, wow, he's doing it, I can do it. And you know, now I'm a little bit older, I can see myself in anybody really, because we are all humans and we all are a part of the same species and we all are open to the same limitless possibilities. But when I was younger, it really did help to see somebody that looked like me. It really helped. So Blue, you don't know this, you're finding out now if you're actually watching this video that you are a big part of my inspiration and you really helped me continue my journey through parkour. So thank you for that. Alright guys, so this episode was definitely different. It was unscripted. It was just really me talking from a place of experience and talking from my heart and talking from my head. I appreciate anybody that sat through that and listened. If you have ever experienced anything like this, please say something in the comments below. I am interested in this conversation, at least for today or tomorrow, like the next couple of days. I'd be interested to follow up any comments in the comment section and we could have a conversation about this just to see if this is the same for you guys. Did you see somebody that you resonated with and you saw yourself basically in them? No community news today because it's been a really hectic week for me and I am getting my bearings. So next week's episode, I promise you, will be a ton better. The only thing I do want to remind you is to sign up for Woodward if you have not already. Seriously, don't wait till the last minute. Spots do fill up rather quickly. I was just looking the numbers over a few days ago and we are starting to get filled up. So jump on that, don't wait. If you have any questions, you know, DM me directly at Silky Johnson Jumps on Instagram. I'll answer immediately. I might even have a discount code for you, especially if you're a first-time camper. I definitely have a discount code for you, so reach out for me because you can't find this discount code anywhere else. And don't forget guys, Hub, regional qualifiers for NAPC, this March 9th and 10th. So that's in 2 weekends. All right, you definitely want to get yourself out there. No, I'm sorry, that's actually 1 weekend from now. So really get yourself out there. It's going to be the place to be. Even if you don't want to compete, come out, hang out, train. And this is where the professional athletes in our sport are made. Whoever wins NAPC is crowned king of our sport, really. Like, that is how we're doing it now. It used to be Red Bull Art of Motion, now NAPC kind of holds that position of being the deciding factor of who the best is, or at least up there on the top 10 list. So yeah. Okay guys, so that was a lot of me rambling today. I hope I did not completely bore you. I'm sorry that my microphone isn't great. It's the built-in mic on my A6. Yeah, I have nothing else to say to you guys except for I love you all, and I will see you next week with a real episode. Okay, bye.